Morning, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here on Thursday, August 20th, I think. Yeah. And despite the heavy rain we had yesterday afternoon, these guys are backing at it. Obviously, the electric stakes that were placed by the electric company yesterday afternoon are now, well, at least one of them is now history. One down by the creek, I think, gets to live a little longer because I don't think they're going to go down over the hill today. It'll be interesting to see what all they do here. They backed this grinder truck. They pulled clear up by the house and backed it around into my turnaround and didn't hit a thing. Very slick, very good. It's dragging. So it starts. Well, the guys are taking a bit of a break here now. It's 10:50 in the morning, Eastern time. They're all three of them sitting down there on the wood chipper. Obviously, the wood chipper is turned off. I think they're seriously thinking about whether to continue with the various festivities today. It's been a lot of slipping and sliding and skidding and so forth. So, be interesting to see what development happens here. Yesterday, Paul and I watched the launch of this Japanese cargo ship to the International Space Station. That was around 7 in the morning. Well, 7:55 in the morning, I guess. 7:50. And that's always fun to watch those things. It was a night launch out of Japan. Paul went down to a work-related meeting around noon at his employer, and he got a little special award.
Being a magician.
The what?
Call me a magician.
A magician?
Right.
Magic. And that was for
running around and replacing today's and today inserts and cleaning the whole place and the hallways and everything like I do on all 6 floors, plus switching doing a meeting room and everything. That was on a Sunday.
Yeah, that was Sunday, yeah. Because you thought they'd wait till a slower day to replace all those duvets.
I got home about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that was a late day for you.
Right.
Overtime.
Yeah, that was.
And then Dee Dee asked you, well, somebody asked you, you know, how you did it?
Yeah, Dee Dee wanted to know the GM.
Yeah. Joe manager.
How did you pull that off? I said, you run like hell and you never stop moving.
That's probably a good sort of thing to keep in mind for all times of your life.
Well, that's what I do. Exactly.
Here's Paul's award from work here from yesterday. Magical How You Got It All Done award. And here's the specifics of the citation. Good for him. Good for him. I think there's been a bit of an equipment failure here. The guy in the red hat is the county engineer's representative. I don't like him. There seems to be some sort of fluid coming out of the equipment. It looks like they're getting ready to call it a day here, just by 11:15, 11:20, because of the equipment failure. I guess apparently somebody had serviced the thing and put in the wrong, I don't know. Anyway, it messed up the hydraulics. He's going to scrape the driveway a bit, so we need to get out of the way. Well, it's 11:32, and here's the aftermath. They just now pulled out of the driveway after, well, let's just say with great difficulty. I'll give you a little panoramic view here. One of these guys said their rain gauge up at their place there, he lives up just slightly to the north of us, they had about 3.5 or 4 inches of rain last night. Of course, we got the same storm. So I don't know if they're going to be back tomorrow or not. They were pretty careful though, they didn't do any damage. Peace and quiet has returned. As I probably mentioned, they had a fuel filter and a hydraulic filter that had been installed after fluid changes. I guess they had this thing in the shop yesterday. They just got it back from the shop, and these filters had unscrewed themselves and vibrated off, and so basically they were running there with a dry system there briefly, which isn't good for it's not good for any equipment, but it's particularly bad for a diesel engine and a hydraulic system to be running with air and dry. So I hope your equipment didn't get messed up. And then when they were pulling the little bobcatty Holland lift thing out on its trailer, There was a lot of sort of, you know, backing up, getting a running up, skidding, backing back up, getting a running up, almost a little more, backing up, get a little bit more, and then finally out. But at one point, the whole affair started sliding sideways. And I said to Paul, I said, that'd be a real bastard if that whole trailer slides sideways down into the ditch and overturns. I wouldn't wish that on them, of course. My word, no. Now, Randy, the sawman, said that yesterday, after they finished this job, a little after 12, about 12:30, and they had to pay the deputy sheriffs till 2 o'clock because that's how they'd contracted with them. $90 an hour, you know, between the two of them. So $45 an hour for each of them. They had a other job up in Cheshire, Ohio, which is it's about 20 something miles north of here. And they said it was like 2.5 foot diameter cherry trees they had to take out. And that required the bucket as well. You know, they used the bucket for that as well. Randy was saying they have 2 of these buckets. And the last time, the other one that wasn't out here yesterday was serviced. So he got in it and he discovered that they hadn't tightened the part of the bucket that you know needs to be tightened, so that it says if you lean over, then the thing just tips over. I mean, you just fall out. He said, fortunately, you know, he obviously caught it in time. He says the physical part of the job is, you know, sort of arduous. He says, but I can do that. I'm used to that. He says, but it's just a continual, having to be continually hyper aware of everything going on around you. He says, and you don't dare touch one of these lines. He says, you don't dare touch one of these electric lines. I mean, because you're just instantaneously dead. He said, so he was glad he could sort of get a half day off here today. I'll be very interested to see if they show back up tomorrow. But my prediction this morning was wrong, so I'm not making a prediction. Well, there we are. So we're going to sort of retreat back into our little world here. So, bye-bye, YouTubers.